Yo, 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 it's your boy Samuel Fayomi coming at you straight from, well, not Nigeria actually, I'm coming at you from Canada, but trust me, Nigeria is always on my mind. See, Nigeria's got this rep, Africa's giant, right? Full of potential, resources, the works. But here's the thing about giants. Sometimes they stumble. And Nigeria, my friends, has been stumbling through a whole lot of insecurity lately. We're talking terrorism, banditry, clashes that make your average family feud look like a picnic. It's a mess, and it's affecting everything, the economy, politics, everyday life. But hey, we're not about to just sit here and watch a giant fall. We're diving deep into Nigeria's security crisis, understanding the challenges, and brainstorming some solutions because this giant deserves better. Alright, let's talk Boko Haram. Now, their name supposedly means Western education is forbidden, which honestly already tells you they didn't think this whole thing through. I mean, who needs critical thinking and problem-solving skills, right? But, I digress. These guys popped up in the early 2000s, and let me tell you, they've been causing mayhem ever since. We're talking bombings, kidnappings, the whole shebang, mostly in the Northeast. Their whole deal? Turning Nigeria into some kind of Islamic state. But here's the thing. Most Nigerians, Muslims included, are looking at Boko Haram like, bro, that's not Islam, that's just you being a terrible person. The worst part? This insurgency has created a humanitarian crisis. People are displaced, living in fear, and the kids? Don't even get me started on what the kids have been through. It's heartbreaking, man. So, Boko Haram's doing their thing in the Northeast. But don't think for a second that other parts of Nigeria are chilling on some peaceful island. Nope. In the Northwest, we've got banditry and kidnapping on a whole other level. These armed groups, they're like the entrepreneurial criminals of Nigeria. They've diversified their portfolio, cattle rustling, armed robbery, and of course kidnapping. And their tactics? Straight out of a bad action movie, ambushing villages, raiding schools, taking hostages. It's gotten so bad that people are straight up terrified to leave their homes. Farmers can't farm, kids can't go to school. And the government? Well, let's just say they're working on it. Slowly. Chapter 3. Farmers versus herders. When climate change fuels the fire. Okay, picture this. You're a farmer just trying to grow some crops and feed your family. Suddenly a bunch of cattle come strolling through, trampling everything in sight. Not cool, right? That's the reality for many farmers in Nigeria, where conflict between farmers and herders over land and resources is heating up faster than a bowl of jollof rice on a summer day. And guess what's fanning the flames of this already tense situation? Climate change. Desertification is pushing herders further south in search of grazing land, leading to clashes with farmers who are just trying to protect their livelihoods. It's a recipe for disaster, and it's costing lives and livelihoods. Chapter 4. Political violence, democracy interrupted. Now, let's talk politics because what's a good crisis without a little political drama, right? Elections in Nigeria, they're supposed to be a celebration of democracy, a time for people to choose their leaders. Instead, it often feels more like a contact sport and not the fun kind. We're talking violence, intimidation, rigging, the whole 9 yards. Why? Well, my friends, it all boils down to power. Politicians here, some of them would sell their grandmothers for a taste of that sweet, sweet power. And when you throw in corruption, ethnic tensions, and a whole lot of unemployed youth who are easily manipulated, well, you've got yourself a recipe for electoral chaos. Chapter 5. The economy, when poverty becomes a weapon. Look, we can't talk about insecurity in Nigeria without addressing the elephant in the room, the economy. Unemployment is sky high, poverty is rampant, and let's be real, a hungry belly doesn't care much for peace talks. When young people have no jobs, no hope, they become vulnerable to recruitment by armed groups who offer them a sense of purpose, albeit a twisted one. And with so much poverty, it's no surprise that crime becomes a way of life for some. It's a vicious cycle, my friends, and breaking it requires more than just bullets and tanks. It requires investment in education, job creation, and giving people a reason to believe in a brighter future. Outro: a call to action, rebuilding for a more secure future. Look, Nigeria's problems are complex, I'm not gonna lie. But here's the thing about complex problems, they often have solutions, if you're willing to put in the work. We need a holistic approach, one that addresses the root causes of insecurity. That means tackling poverty and unemployment, strengthening law enforcement, and building trust between communities and the government. And that's where I come in. See, living in Canada has given me a unique perspective. I've seen what works in other parts of the world, and I believe we can adapt those solutions to the Nigerian context. We need to start talking to each other, sharing best practices, and working together to build a more secure and prosperous future for all Nigerians. Because at the end of the day, Nigeria's success is Africa's success, and that's something worth fighting for.